Why I thought it was a good idea to bake before I had my coffee, I have no idea. So remind me never to do that again. So this morning I was trying to make a angel food cake covered in chocolate for a customer that ordered one. And I just had nothing but trouble because I was not awake fully yet and I hadn't had my coffee, hadn't even showered yet. I thought I would just jump right into it, and that was a big mistake. I've made angel food cakes many times, but for some reason, I just had a mess this morning, and here I am contemplating what am I even doing and if I should be doing this at this time. So anyway, um yeah, the first one that I'm making here just was a total disaster because the recipe that I used was kind of confusing and I knew better to do not to do what I did, which was mix the flour in with the egg whites after I incorporated all the air, which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to fold it in, and I knew that. But why I beat it in with the blender, I have no idea. So that's where I totally screwed up. And I didn't realize it though until I went to pour the batter into my tube pan. And you'll see here in just a minute when I go to pour it in that I have batter all over the bottom of my table here. And I didn't realize that it was leaking out because I goofed up. I'm going, what the heck is all of this? I didn't even know where it was coming from. Like, I kept picking it up and going, what is going on? And then I thought, oh my gosh, I screwed up royally. I realized that I mixed the flour in with the egg whites with the blender instead of by hand folding it in carefully, not to deflate all the air, which I had just created with the with the egg whites in the blender. So, note to self, don't bake before I've showered and had my coffee. So what I decided to do, because I didn't want to waste this batter, because if you've ever made angel food cake before, or if you haven't, it uses a lot of egg whites. I think it was like 10 to 12 egg whites for this recipe. It depends on the weight of your egg whites when you weigh it out. But anyway, I didn't want to throw it away. So what I decided to do is try to just turn it into a cake and use it for something else for myself because I hate to waste ingredients and throw it away. It's just such a sad thing to have to do that. But every once in a while, you do have to throw something away that just can't be salvaged. But I was able to salvage this, and here I am on to round two of uh of the angel food cake. So this one definitely came out much better. I remembered to fold in my flour instead of beating it in with the hand blender. So that was a plus, and I still hadn't had my full cup of coffee yet. So how I managed to get it right this time, I don't know, but as I said, I will never bake again before I've had my coffee. And here I am separating my eggs from my yolks because you only need the egg whites for this. And a little trick, if you need to make something last minute that needs room temperature eggs, but your eggs are cold, is to put them in a bowl with hot water and just leave them in there for like 2 minutes. And that will bring them up to room temperature so that when you crack them, they'll be ready to go. So that's what I had to do with these because, like I said, this was round two and I didn't have my eggs out. They were still in the refrigerator. And here I am. I'm so frustrated. I'm trying to double fist everything and do two things at once, which I shouldn't be doing that. But, here we are. That's what I'm doing because I need to get this done because the lady's picking up. I'm making the day before and the lady's picking it up the day after because I have to make it and let it completely cool before I can coat it in the chocolate glaze that it's going to be getting. So you will not be seeing the chocolate glaze portion of this video because I had just had enough. And sometimes when I'm videotaping, for some reason, I just like forget things and I don't know, I just I'm not sure why that happens, but I just wanted to make sure because this was an actual order and not just for fun or for a friends, whatever. I wanted to make sure that I did it completely. So I may make a separate video of that, um, because once I let the angel food cake cool, I'm kind of resting and having my coffee at this point and recharging myself. So again, this second one came out way better and I was so happy with it. I just hope now that the chocolate covered glaze on top works well and I don't have any issues with that. So we shall see. But here are the cakes that I made. I just showed you. They came out perfectly fine. I would not use them for a customer cake as they did come out a little dense. However, I'm perfectly fine using it for dessert for myself or my family because I'm not worried about perfection. I'm just making sure that it tastes good. And lastly, here I am doing the fun stuff, doing the dishes after all. I didn't actually have my unpaid assistant, which would be my husband, do the dishes for me. I actually did them myself this time. Actually, I'm just kidding. I always do the dishes. I don't make my husband do that. He does, however, do the dishes when I do the cooking, which is all the time because he's not a big fan of cooking. And I actually don't mind doing it.